All right. Hey, this is Rob Bean, formerly of the Big Moo Canoe, and now team to be named later. I am about to give you just a little bit of tour of the new boat, which is an 1992 Ostac Tramp. This is the third generation of this particular boat, designed by Ian Ferrier of the Corsair fame. Very cool boat. This was the last version they made of this particular boat, and it is about 1,100 pounds, which is, I think, about 400 pounds lighter than the previous versions had been. They had different construction. This one is all foam core, and so it's sheets of foam covered in epoxy and glass, and makes for a nice light boat. These Amas here are on a really cool system. If you look close there in front of the engine, you'll see a bolt there. You'll also see a bolt there in the front. You just undo those bolts and these things fold in super nice. So there is a little bit of dirt on the boat. We got muddy yesterday and I have not got all the mud cleaned off. A little bit about the sail setup on this boat. The main sail is on a furling boom, which is a really cool feature. Makes it easy to get the sail down when you need to. And then I've got a furling genoa, which we can also run a furling jib off of that particular furling setup. And then the newest sail is this furling screecher, which is a very high-tech material, very lightweight, very strong. My understanding is very powerful as well. I've been out about 3 times now with that particular sail, and it is awesome. I've mainly been out in up to winds at about 18 to 21 miles per hour, and it's been awesome. Like, it really is great. In fact, I've run it as opposed to the Genoa a couple times just to try things out some different ways. Before we move into the boat, a couple other things. Of course, this particular boat came with a 6-horse Yamaha 4-stroke, nice motor. It's been great, runs really well, starts right up every time, and it's got a mount that's kind of molded into the boat itself. You can see the ladder and the nice huge rudder on this guy. Let's see, moving forward, you can see it's got nav lights. Now, I added both the steaming light and also this light that's on right now that shines down onto the deck, just so I could be able to see at night, moving around the boat on the outside, cleaning things up, getting prepped for the next day. Thought that would be nice. Also added a new set of lights to the top. So there's new navigation lights up there, and there's also an anchor light. All the lights are on right now. That's not how they're wired. You can actually shut them and off individually and control them that way. I just thought I'd turn them all on. Let's see, moving around. So this screecher is on the bowsprit, and the bowsprit does have room to put another sail up here. It's probably where I will run the spinnaker at some point. When I get the spinnaker, I do have a small anchor locker. It's not quite big enough for the 17-pound anchor I bought for the trip, but we'll figure out where to put that thing at some point. Let's see, moving toward the back. This is the current mock-up of the pedal drive unit. Seems to be working really well. I've got some things to do to tighten the whole design up, but my brother and I have been working on some engineered parts. If you look down in there, you can see the 3D printing that we've been working on. The key to this particular unit is actually going to be a cross member that's not on here yet. That actually is going to be what supports it from twisting and flipping backwards. So those supports still need to be put on. We've just been working on figuring out how to get something secure on the AMA itself. But I will probably put the AIS antenna here in the back. is sort of my plan. It needs to be at least 6 feet away from my other antenna so that it doesn't create interference, and that is sort of the plan. All right, so let's step aboard here. Now these are new Tramps. I haven't decided whether I'm going to put the old Tramps on and cut a hole in them, or whether I'll use these as is. But Tramps are in great shape, just a little bit of dirt from yesterday. So coming aboard. So the previous owner, actually there's two. In a normal Tramp, you'd be able to get into the boat, into the cabin, and through two of these little openings. Previous owner had actually kind of covered this one up and started to mount some electronic components in here. This is where I've got my one of my many GPSs, and I tend to run the wind gauge off of this one, and so I have wind gauge, speed, and heading, and some other things, but I don't necessarily do mapping with that one. I've got other devices I like to do mapping on, but really nice big cockpit area. It does have a dagger board as opposed to a center board. There's no keel to speak of under this thing, just a little bit. This particular hatch right here goes down into the bedroom, or one of the bedrooms, and that's going to be something that on the race I'm going to make sure has probably some moisture control put into there so it does not leak at all. Now let's pop into the salon. So this is our main salon, and it's quite roomy. Well, at least compared to a Angus Road Cruiser, which is what I'm used to. Now, I don't have the toilet in here, but there is a spot for a porta potty in here. I've got the extra battery here. This will likely be underneath here at some point, and the porta potty will go in here. I am looking to build some shelving over on this side, but really wanted to just wait until I've lived in the boat a little bit before I make any massive change. This is the electrical system. I have upgraded this from what was there before. I've got additional switches and things that have been added. I'm going to do some additional work to this. I'm not super happy with the placement of where that's at, or the fact that it's not really sealed very well, because I'm sure we might get water and things in from the main hatch here, and I just feel like it needs to be better protected. So this is sort of a work in progress. This is a brand new AIS and GPS capable radio with DSC, and so it's, you know, awesome. Big upgrade from what I had on my Angus Road Cruiser. I do have a stereo system on board, which is nice. It's all Bluetooth, and then this is my AIS controller back here, and it will be functioning as soon as I finish up that project. So this is also an area that I'm considering putting in maybe some kind of shelving, but I am mindful that I want to keep some spot open for you know, being able to cook and, you know, have a spot to do stuff. So I'm not really making any decisions in here for a while. These are not things that take a ton of time to put together, so I'm just gonna kind of, again, live in it, camp in it a couple times before I make any final decisions. But this is, there's just a lot of crap in here right now, which of course will be the case during a race, but there is, if it was pouring down rain, there is enough room here for two people to sit comfortably, or you could have somebody sit on the toilet and somebody sit here and have a conversation about tactics or planning or mapping or whatever we need to do to get the day together. This light is actually reminding me there's some really dim lighting in here right now. I am going to completely add new lighting to this whole situation. In my Angus Road Cruiser, I had a really nice set of strip lights that I could control color and you know, not just temperature, but also like brightness and all that stuff. So I'm going to put that in here, and probably also up into the bedroom area. So this is sort of the bedroom. It's adequate. You definitely can lay in there. There's actually up above here, there's really nice places to store gear and and put things. I wear a CPAP, and so whether I'm here or whether I'm in the back cabin, there's going to be plenty of room to put things like CPAP units and toothbrushes and all that stuff. The access port up there is into the anchor locker. And the reason that's important is if it's ever warm, we can open that up and get some airflow through here. And but otherwise, that probably will remain closed most of the time. I think that is the highlights of the main salon. There are some other access ports. I actually opened a hole in the floor here not too long ago. There was some salt water that had gotten in here, and I just wanted to make sure all of the compartments have access ports, so I can make sure that if we've got a leak, we get it early. Ever since I got the water out of there, we've not had any water in here, with the exception of I've got a little bit of water coming in through this door, but that's going to be taken care of here pretty soon. I can't think of anything else. I do have two different batteries that I can switch on and off. I still have to work out where I'm going to put the solar panel and all that stuff, but that's, again, not stuff that's a lot of rocket science. So, yeah. So that's about it for in here. Last look. And let's move back out into the cockpit. So again, not a whole lot else to see out here. Beautiful sunset. Let's see, let's move to the back cabin. So the first thing I'm going to do is tie the tiller so I don't lock myself in the back cabin. Haven't done that yet, but I don't really want to first. The other thing to note here is we do have one venting fan that is run by solar power. It sits back here. Let's get these open. It's a super expensive hatch. I looked at actually just what these things cost, and they're like, I don't know, a couple grand. So they're not cheap, so I don't want to break it. This is actually the mount right here for the auto tiller. So I've got a Raymarine ST2000, which is the one that has the metal componentry inside, so it's really strong and kind of is better than the ST1000, which I had on my row cruiser, which also went back to the shop like 3 or 4 times, so it was kind of annoying. And then this is where the power is. All right, so this is the larger of the, well, I don't know about larger, but it's the second cabin here on the triple threat. And as you can see, I'm in the cabin space now. I do have some cushions that I'm going to be ordering that will fill up the floor of this space and so forth. Another cabin light here, I believe. Yeah, both of these cabin lights go to red. But again, I'm going to be adding LED lights back in here, so all of that's going to be controlled independently front to back. So, the person in the front can have lights going on to whatever they want, and the person in the back can have an opposite or off, whatever they want. So, leave that on white. So, dip this down here. So you can see the other battery up in there. You can see the storage compartment areas that we have to really kind of probably put water and other kind of gear in there just to kind of balance the boat out. This area, these areas here are also spots that I've got kind of in mind to put maybe some netting or something to hold some bags of things that we don't need very often, but good storage in here for that. As I mentioned before, got some areas like that that'll be good for putting CPAP or personal effects. Also on this side over here, this nice little hole here, hole up there. So there's really a good amount of room in this particular cabin for, sleeping and chilling out. So I think this should really be a nice area for resting. It probably also would be the more comfortable area if I've got somebody resting while we're underway, I think it'd be probably better than beating at the front. So, yeah. Anyway, that is the back cabin. Of course, depending on whether we leave the boat in Ketchikan or whichever, we have the option of bringing the gas motor back with us, back to deliver it. And then under this is the bilge area. I've got things kind of tight. Unless I can knock it out of here. I wanted to make that stupid thing kind of tight, and I managed to make it super, super tight. So anyway, we're not going to worry about the bilge. The bilge is under there. There's an automatic running bilge pump that is down in that bilge space. So it can be on while we're cruising along. And if for some reason we were to get water, it's going to turn on automatically, and we don't even have to think about it. So let's see, I think there's another light back here. So yeah, there you can see the area just a little bit better. But it's going to be super nice when I get the better lights in here. So all right, well, that is about it for the Ostac Tramp boat tour. Let me get myself out of here. Trying to think if there's anything else worth noting. Shut this here. Nice spot there. Yeah, then there's a compass here as well. But I guess the last thing I'll mention is these come off, and that during the day when I'm sailing, those things are off. These are the controllers for the Screecher. Just kind of upgraded these. These probably will be replaced before the race, and I do have these in the plan to replace before the race, and I've got the parts. I haven't been able to reach up in there to get that out. But this stuff works really well. I've recently added that running rigging's not going to work. Let's show this one. This is the new running rigging, so I can really tighten up the backstay now on the mast, just to make sure that we don't lose our mast with the powerful sails that we have now for the boat. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. So if anybody has any questions, just let me know, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have about the Ostac Tramp. I am learning this boat as we speak. Really only had it about 2 months, and I've got a couple 100 miles on it so far, but not a ton. So we're still learning each other's habits and idiosyncrasies. So anyways, all right, well, thanks so much. Talk to you later.